It's been a while since I posted a project video. I even went as far as saying that I wouldn't post another project until Destiny 2 launch, but I realized there was one in-depth concept that I didn't know the answer to. I realized that I didn't know the answer to the question, what is the exact drop rate for engrams when killing basic enemies at random? For those that haven't seen my project videos, you can find a link to a playlist I created in the description, but for a brief summary, I look at a very simple concept in Destiny and test it in the most in-depth way possible. For this one, I decided to test the drop rate of engrams when killing an enemy at random. In order to test this thoroughly, I needed a massive kill pool. I decided the number to aim for was 10% of the average PvE kills on many content creators' main guardians. I'm not going to list all the content creators that I compared this to, but on average, their most played character had around 200,000 PvE kills. So for you math wizards out there, over the last week, myself and Demon, who has been helping me plan for Destiny 2, we collected the data on over 20,000 kills. We documented both green armor and weapon engrams, same for the rares as well as legendaries. This entire project, between the two of us, took 27 hours, 39 minutes, and 4 seconds of in-game time. If you can't tell, we documented that as well. But enough babbling, let's get into this. Like all my projects, I want to make some clarifications. First, all kills were done by performing the Venus Patrol loot cave that you are currently seeing in the background footage. Second, there's a chance that Bungie has implemented a mechanic that reduces engram drop rates the longer you stay in an area, as we saw fewer average engrams the longer we stayed in a single instance, but the difference was small, but still possibly affected our data. Third, while still a large sample size in comparison to the other projects I've done, 20,000 kills is still a small amount in the grand scheme of Destiny, so while more accurate than usual, still take all of this information with a grain of salt. And finally, this project was done to have a baseline to compare to Destiny 2, but we don't know how Destiny 2 will function when it comes to engram drops. So while this is still a good baseline, it has the potential to not be comparable to Destiny 2 at all, but my hope is that it will be. Like all my projects, I always have a set of questions I want to answer. For this project, I had 6 questions I wanted to answer about engram drop rates in Destiny. Those being, how common are armor engrams across all rarities? How common are weapon engrams across all rarities? How common are green engrams? How common are blue engrams? How common are legendary engrams? And how common are engrams over all types and rarities? All these questions were designed to create a baseline for comparison that could be used once Destiny 2 launches in a few weeks. So let's answer the first question. How common are armor engrams across all rarities? Armor engrams were to no surprise more common than weapon drops, nearly 3 times more common in fact. Over 20,000 kills, we received a total of 573 green armor engrams, 128 blue armor engrams, and 8 legendary armor engrams. Altogether, receiving a total of 709 armor engrams, which accounted for 75.5% of all drops that we received. However, this shouldn't be confused with the actual drop rates of armor engrams. As I stated, we received 573 green armor engrams, dropping 2.8% of the time at a rate of about 1 time every 35 kills, or once every 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Also, just for clarity, I did state it earlier, but this entire project took 27 hours, 39 minutes, and 4 seconds of in-game time. Meaning of the 20,108 total kills, we got, we on average killed an enemy every 5 seconds. This will be the last time I mention this in this video, but I wanted to make this clear. Let's move on though. So on to blue armor engrams. For these, we received 128. This at a drop rate of 0.64% of the time, which is 1 every 157 kills or once every 12 minutes and 58 seconds. And for legendaries, we received 8 legendary armor engrams, which is a drop rate of only 0.04% of the time. This meant it took roughly 2,513 kills to receive 1 legendary armor engram. And when it comes to time, this means we got 1 every 3 hours, 27 minutes, and 23 seconds, assuming you're getting the same kill rate of a kill every 5 seconds like us. Altogether, armor engrams dropped collectively 3.53% of the time. 1 every 28 kills, or 1 every 2 minutes and 20 seconds. But as I said, armor engrams were 3 times more likely than weapon engrams, so let's answer the next question. How common are weapon engrams across all rarities? Altogether, across all rarities, we received 230 engrams. 129 were green dropping 0.64% of the time at a rate of 1 every 156 kills, or once every 12 minutes and 51 seconds. For blue weapon engrams, we received 98, which puts their total drop rate at 0.49% of the time, which is 1 every 205 kills, or once every 16 minutes and 55 seconds of constant killing. And legendary weapon engrams were the rarest of all engram traps, dropping 3 times, putting their drop rate barely at 0.01% of the time, meaning we and you would be lucky to see 1 every 6,703 kills, or even worse, once every 9 hours and 13 minutes of constant kills occurring at a rate of 1 kill every 5 seconds. I'm gonna be honest, random legendary weapon engram drops are super rare. But with that said, collectively, the 230 weapon engrams across all rarities dropped 1.14% of the time, roughly 1 every 97 kills at 1 every 7 minutes and 13 seconds. But we have more data and more questions to answer, so let's keep going. But I'm going to answer the next 3 questions in one big group, those being how common are green engrams, how common are blue engrams, and how common are legendary engrams. So let's start with green engrams. We received 129 green weapon engrams and 573 armor engrams, totaling 702, which was 74.7% of all drops received. Again, not to be confused with their actual drop rate, which was 3.49% of the time, meaning if you went out and killed enemies at random, you could expect a green engram of any type once every 29 kills. Or, if you kill super quickly, aka the magic once every 5 seconds, you'd see a green engram roughly every 2 minutes and 22 seconds. For blue engrams, they were quite a bit rarer. I mean, blue engrams are called rare engrams, but regardless, we received 226 of them in total, which was 1.12% of the time. If you're playing and killed enemy at random, you'd probably see a blue engram once every 89 kills, and for completion's sake, once every 7 minutes and 20 seconds. But I guess I should preface that by saying you have to kill an enemy every 5 seconds. I've said it countless times in this video, but I want to drive home that we were going incredibly fast when collecting data, so these time frames mean nothing, and it's more of just an interesting fact, if anything. But let's look at legendaries. I'm gonna be honest, if you go out to patrol in Destiny 1 seeking legendary engrams of any type, you're wasting your time. We killed 20,108 enemies and received 11 total legendary engrams. This is 0.05% of the time, or 1 every 1,828 kills, which at our 1 kill every 5 second kill rate, this is 1 time every 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 49 seconds. Random legendary engrams are rare. Most players play 3 hours a day on average. Imagine if you play for 3 hours, you have to get a kill every 5 seconds the entire time, never stopping for any breaks at this rate. Kill. Kill. Kill for 3 hours and you get 1 legendary engram. Don't farm legendaries this way. That's all I'm saying. But let's finish this up and answer the final question: how common are random engrams over all types and rarities? Overall, after 20,108 kills, we got 939 engrams with a drop rate of 4.67% of the time. This is 1 engram of random rarity once every 21 kills, or at the favorable rate of 1 kill every 5 seconds, roughly 1 engram every 1 minute and 45 seconds. Guys, this project took a long time, 27 hours, 39 minutes, and 4 seconds to be exact, but this was just in-game time. This doesn't include orbit or tower time, this doesn't include analyzing the data, nor does this include scripting the video, recording the video, or editing it. And to be completely honest, I could not have completed this project before Destiny 2's launch without Demon's help. So if you could take a second, in the description is a link to his Twitch channel. He streams pretty regularly, and if he's helping me with a project, he streams the gathering process. Do me a favor and thank him by giving him a follow. In addition, if you wish to take part in future projects or help us with Destiny 2 projects, you can find a link to my Discord, the Multilux Community Discord, and his Discord where we plan and discuss these projects. So if you want to help, join both. But you may be asking why we did this with less than 3 weeks before Destiny 2's launch. Why does the drop rate in Destiny 1 matter? And to answer that, there are a few reasons. First, as I stated early on, we now have something to compare to. When we do this exact project in Destiny 2, we can look back and make precise comparisons and see if things changed and by how much. And the second reason, I wanted to show you guys how deep I will be taking projects in Destiny 2. I wanted to show you guys that I'm not just going to do simple stuff, I'm going to dive deep into Destiny 2 and find every bit of information I can. My previous projects were warm-ups. 100 strikes was a practice run, 100 Crucible matches, 250 Archon's Forges, 150 Intel relays, the 1,000 SRL races that you guys helped me with, the 1,000 heroic strikes, all of my projects. These are nothing compared to what I'll be bringing to you in Destiny 2. You will also get the farms you expect, you will get the meaningful guides that you expect, and you will get projects like this that takes 30 in-game hours to gather data. I may not upload often, but when I do, I want you guys to know that it'll be quality. I am going to ask you guys one favor though. Well, two. In order to do stuff like this, I need, well, 30 hours of constant playtime. So in the description is a link to my Twitch channel. When Destiny 2 launches, I'll be streaming constantly. If you want to support me, please give me a follow on Twitch and stop by when you can. Just saying, hey, what's up, keeps me motivated on these things. So all I ask, the two things I ask, is that you follow me on Twitch and give me a subscription on YouTube. Share this with your friends if you found this video interesting, and like always, thank you for sticking with me and supporting me during the downtime before Destiny 2's launch. But with all that said, I'm gonna get out of here, say my name is Matt, and I'll see you guys next time.